Hello YouTube, welcome back to my video. In this video I am going to show you the basic CRUD operations using Hibernate, which is to create, read, update and delete operations from a database. I'm using MySQL database, and let's go for that. Now first I'm going to create a project. I'm basically creating a Java project, and I'm giving a CRUD Hibernate test and just click finish. Let's see. Just click yes, no need of that, and finish it. Okay, now I have created my Java project. Now we'll have to go further to add the Hibernate jars. The first thing what you have to do is add the Hibernate jar files in the build path of the project. You can see the system library. I don't have the Hibernate jar file. Now to add the Hibernate jar file, go to configure build path and configure build path. In this, just click add jars. So no, just click add external jars, so you can navigate and add external jars. So these are the Hibernate jars which we require. All these jars is actually not required, but I am adding that. I'll share this jars in the description. You can have download it, and I have ordered all the jars here and click OK. Now we can see I have my Hibernate comments. These are the basic Hibernate 3 Hibernate commands, or the basic jars which you will be requiring to do the operations. Now I am going to create a class here, which is actually a Java class. So I am giving uh, the name as create class. So this is in this class we'll write code for the create operation, which is basically to insert a value into the database. So let's check out that. The basic and important point in a Hibernate project is we should have a Hibernate config file which will be having all the detailed information of your Hibernate project, like the database connectivity and other information like the mapping class. And actually we are going to do the Hibernate project with the help of annotations. So let's go for creating an XML, which is a Hibernate config file. So I'm going to create an XML file, and the name of the XML will be hibernate.cfg.xml. So this is the basic name which Hibernate default Hibernate config file. You can use any other name. I'll show you how to use any other name if you want. Now I'm just clicking finish here. Now we have created the Hibernate config file. Now let's create the basic configuration what Hibernate config file needed. Okay, first you have to include the DTD information. So this is actually required for your configuration file. You can just copy. You can get this from any other Hibernate configuration file. Just copy paste that. And next one is we have to put a Hibernate configuration tag. So I mean, inside the Hibernate configuration tab, you should include the session factory. So here is where we will include all our details about the Hibernate. So first we will be adding the details of our database name. So inside this, just add property name equal to Hibernate dot connection dot driver class, and inside this we should include the MySQL database information. com.mysql.jdbc driver, com.mysql.jdbc.driver. And the next property information we have to add is the Hibernate URL, sorry, the connection URL of MySQL database. So inside that you have to add like so it's a jdbc colon mysql colon // localhost colon 3306 / test. actually we are going to get in connection with the database named test. So this is my MySQL database. I have a database named test here, so which is not having any tables. So we are going to get connection with this database. Now we have to include the property information of the username and password for the database. So property name Hibernate dot connection, spelling is wrong, connection dot username, and it is root here, and the next thing is the password, and it is also root here. Now we have added the primary information of our database MySQL in our Hibernate configuration file. Next we have to add the property information dialect, property name equal to dialect, which is actually we are instructing Hibernate to do the Hibernate query related to the MySQL database. So it should be, there is a URL for that MySQL dialect. I'll just copy paste that. So the dialect information I'll show you here in our reference libraries, like org.hibernate. So it will be hibernate 3 jars org.hibernate dot dialect. So inside this we are going to use MySQL dialect class. Okay, so all other or each of the database is having its own dialect. See, I have Oracle dialect here and the Postgres database dialect here. So for this particular case we are using for with MySQL dialect. So it is org.hibernate.dialect.mysql dialect. So we are going to use this property here. And next property what we are going to insert is a show SQL property. So this property is we are adding to get information of all the SQL queries which we have run, we are executing, so we can see in the console here. Okay, so all the primary information, the basic thing what we have need, I have configured it. Now the next is we have to get the mapping information of the annotation classes, which will be our entity class. So I'm going to create an entity class here, and we'll give the mapping information here. Now I'm saving this one, and inside the default package I'm going to create a new uh, entity class. So let me create a new package now, and inside that I'm going to create a class which is actually the entity class. So I am giving as employee as our class name, and just click finish. So I have created a class name here, employee. So we have to annotate this one as entity class, which is telling Hibernate this is actually entity and you want to persist this into the database. So this should be javax.persistence.entity. Now what we have to do is we have to include all the variables in this employee class, which is the column names of the table which we are using as employee. We have to set one more property here. Its name is actually property name is equal to hbm2ddl dot auto. So what this property said is I'll show you while doing the example what this is actually. I'm just setting it as create. Now we are going to set the variables here. Should be private int sl number. So this is we are giving as the primary key, and the next private string employee name, and private string mobile number. Sorry, yeah, I'll save it as a string mobile number. Okay, so I'll be taking these three variables. I'm going to insert the getters and setters of this. So for that, go to source and generate getters and setters, just click on. So I have generated the getters and setters of for the entity, and now as this is an entity and we should declare our primary key in there. So for that I just want to annotate this id, and this is from java access so dot person itself. So So on setting this, we are saying Hibernate that this is the primary key of the table which we are going to create, and it has different values also. Okay, we have created the entity class. Now we have to create a DAO class, which means a data access object. So which is basically for the basic operations of the Hibernate, like insert, delete, and update. So I'm creating separate class for that. So it is employee DAO. So inside this I'm going to create a class and class like a method to uh, just insert a value. So it's I'm giving it as public void insert data. So this is basically for inserting a value in the database. Okay, now we have to add a try catch because it may throw exception. So just give a try catch and just print out the exception if any. And now inside that I'm going to create a session factory object. Session factory equal to new configuration dot no, we have to import this configuration from org.hibernate dot cfg dot configuration dot configure dot build session factory. So we have build the session factory object. Now from the session factory object we have to open a session equal to session factory dot open session. Now once we open the session we have to import this from org.hibernate, and again now we have to session begin a transaction session dot begin transaction. Okay, so now we have to set the values to the entity class and insert to the database. So I'm just creating a employee object here, and after this I'm just setting some values like set employee name as employee1 and his mobile number has set mobile number as 987. Now I have to save the object to the database. So session dot save object. So I'm giving object dot employee. So I have saved the session. Now I have to close this session. So session dot close. Now I have to close the session factory dot close. Now we have uh, written the code to save the data mm, to the database. So let's try running this. So for that I'm giving a main method here. So I'm just putting this also static. So I'm just calling insert data, and let's see how it works, because it should not work because we didn't added the connector for the database MySQL. Let's see what's ever coming. It's saying hibernate.cfg.xml not found. Okay, this should not be outside here, it should be inside the class path. So I have included it in class path. Now let's try again. It's running something. Yes, it's missing JDBC driver, so we have to import. Okay, now I'm going to add our MySQL jar file to the build path. So just go to the libraries build path, and I'm going to add library external jars. So just navigate to the MySQL jar location. So I have added my MySQL jar here. Just click OK. Now let's try running this. Let's see what's happening. It's still saying MySQL jar. Oh, okay. So we have done a mistake here. It should be driver D capital letter, because it is like that in the reference libraries. The MySQL should be com.mysql.jdbc.driver. Yeah, it should be D capital letter. You can see driver class. So let's try running the DAO again. Unknown entity com.employee. Yes, we have missed one more thing. We didn't map our entity class in the configuration file, so we can do that. So property name equal to no, it's not property name, it should be mapping class. Mapping class is com.employee. So we have mapped that entity here. Now let's go to DAO and just try running again. So it's annotation configuration instance is required to use mapping.class. So since we are using annotation, we cannot use the configure here, configuration.configure here. We should use annotation configuration. So I'm just changing it as annotation configuration, and I'm just importing it from org.hibernate.annotation configuration. Yes, let's see, let's run it again. Yes, now the program has run here. Now I'm going back to my database. Let's refresh the database. You can see not this one. So the table is not created. There is some error here. Let's check that what is happened. Yes, I found the error. There's in the Hibernate configuration file. We have put the C as capital letter. It should not be capital. It should be small always. Now let's run the program. Yes, it has executed the insert query. Let's see what's happened in the database. Now let me refresh the database. Yes, the employee uh, table has been created here, and the employee 1 and 987 it has included in that. So this is actually that we have not created the table here, but Hibernate itself created the table for us. So that's what the use of Hibernate take care of all the uh, database activities. So now I'm giving it as a 2. Let's try it again. If I'm giving it as 2 and if I'm running this Java application, let's see the database here. It was 1 here, and let me refresh it. Now it gained 2. So what happened to the previous value? It's just replaced with the new value. So it just replaced with the new value. Now in the Hibernate session, Hibernate configuration file, we put it as create. Now if I'm putting it as update, and if I'm running this, it should create an error because it's having cannot execute JDBC batch update. It is coming because the SL number is a primary key and we have not set a value for that. But the first execution it will take it as 0, but the second one we have to put it as manually. Now employee 3 I am putting. Let's see if I'm running this. Yes, it has executed the operations. Now let me go to the database and refresh the database. Yes, employee 3 has been added up, and you can see the SL number is 1 here. Now what just happened in this Hibernate configuration file? I have put update, and it was created before. So if it is created and if you are running your application every time, it will delete your schema and create a new. I mean, it will delete the previous table data and create a new table data. So if I am putting it as update, it will just execute with the new value and insert in database. So take care of adding this property name in your production environment or live environment. It will delete all the previous data information. So if I'm not putting this anything and just saving it, now I'm just putting it as 0 4 4 and 4 employee 4. I'm just putting it as 333 and employee this as 2. Let's run this. And if I'm going to my table and just refresh the for the next row has been added with the new employee information. So uh, if it's not set manually, it will be always as update, and if you set it create, you'll do the operation as create. This value can have four different values. I have created one separate video for that. Now we have successfully completed inserting a data to a table, and like so in the CRUD operation we have completed the create. Now we have to read and update and delete the different data from the table. Let's check that. Now just right click and just click run as and run as Java application. Now just wait for some time. Yes, you can see it is actually printing the query which the Hibernate has run to take the value of this employee data. So you can see it's just I'm passing it as employee's primary key, so it will take the value which is present in the first one, which is the primary key as 1. So I'm just putting as 2, and let's see again what's outcome. So it should be employee 4. So let's try running this again. Yes, it's returning employee 4. So this is we have tested our get data also. Now we'll test the update and the delete also. Okay, now I am just copy paste again this method. Now I'm writing a code to get update. So to update, I'm copying a value from here, you can see. So I'm pasting it here. Now I don't want this primary key here, so in the employee 4, so I'm just giving it updated. Same way here also mobile number, I'm just putting it as updated. Now in the table you can see it's employee 4 is employee 4, and mobile number is 333. I have given a string here updated, and here also updated. Now in the session I'm just putting that object here, and just put update. Now I'll have to put the SL number also, I guess. Let's try that. Oops, no, one sec. We have to get update here. I have just updated the main method. Now it will run the update query. Let's see. Yes, you can see the employee 4 has been updated. Employee 4 has been updated with updated information. Let's see, should update the values here also. Yes, it has given the updated information. What I have done is I have just created an object here with the SL number, the previous SL number, the information of the employee, and the mobile number, and just executed the update query. It is just so it has updated the information in the table. So that's all about update query. Now for the delete operation, I'm just copy pasting this same method again. Now I'm pressing delete. Okay, I have changed the method name as delete. Now I'm going to delete the first SL number first, this employee from this table. Let's see how to do it. So first, now here I'm going to update the SL number as 1 and delete this. We don't need this. The we just need the SL number, and here the update just rename it as a delete. Now it will delete the row in the table with SL number 1. Now let's try this. Come back to here and update in the main method. I'm just updating it as delete. Now just run as Java application. Let's see. Okay, now you can see it has executed the query as delete from employee where SL number equal question mark. I mean, it will be employee number equal to 1. Now we can see if I am refreshing the database, the record has been gone. So this is how we can do the delete operation using Hibernate in Java. So that's all about the CRD operation in Hibernate using MySQL as the database, and this is how all the database works. For the relational database, Hibernate will work with same code. So I'll share the code in my description, you can have it, and if you have any doubt in this, please comment below, and like and subscribe for my videos, and thanks for watching.